Hi, I'm Doug Kondziolka of Blind Dog Entertainment, and I'm here this afternoon with my good friend Sarina Stone and our Mordant Mahon, authors of the new book, Why Real Women Drink Straight Tequila, The Tao of Intimacy, and founding members of the Quantum Dating Club. Hi, Sarina. Hi, Mordant. How are you guys today?
Hi, Doug. We're fantastic.
Great.
Hey, we'll get to your book in a moment, but before we do, what is the Quantum Dating Club, and can I join?
I got this one. So, the Quantum Dating Club is something that Mordant and I started a few years ago, but now actually represents thousands of people around the world who very simply are committed to loving, intimate relationships. I'm a personal coach, and I hear a whole lot of negativity, and I hear a lot of dedications around just hating intimacy. So this is a small group of folks around the world that are dedicated to loving, intimate relationships and being really comfortable with it.
Good.
Oh, wait a minute. And can you join?
Yeah.
You already did. Ask your audience. You're open, you're loving, you connect, you're there.
So why did you choose the word quantum? What does that mean?
We chose quantum because the change that we're talking about happens to happen on a quantum level. When you look into quantum physics, you know, everything is energy, including matter, including situations. And if you're going to change, you know, your intimacy, if you're going to change your life, you want to do that at a quantum level from the core of your being, and it will ripple outwards.
There's a number of meanings for the word quantum. The one that I glom onto the most is the smallest particle in any situation. So, you know, I like the word quantum because it means even if there's a teeny tiny bit of a person that wants to be happy and wants to be healthy, you can build on that.
You mentioned being instructors. I know that you're both Universal Healing Tao instructors. What does that really mean, and how does that tie in with the book?
Well, after years of working on our physical body and really getting that our mind does dictate what the cells do, Mordant and I figured out, well, I mean, we figured it out, but this has been known for thousands of years, that you could take these same techniques and they apply to moving molecules outside of the physical body. So you can manifest any kind of reality you want. As a matter of fact, we learned that you see any kind of reality you believe to be true. Now, I know that gets a little airy-fairy, but when we applied this concept to romantic intimacy, we figured out that we were manifesting exactly what we expected. So all we had to do was change our mind, and then we changed our lives.
Yeah, and this also happens on a subconscious level. So even the stuff that you don't want, if you have a whole big block of negativity subconsciously, that's going to come into play as well. And that's why you have to reach into the core of your being and change from there so that you become a positive person.
So tell me, how did you come up with the idea for the book?
Well, I didn't always carry this smile.
Many years ago.
When I was only 85.
Oh.
I started a manuscript, and it was basically just a forum to lash out at everybody who ever did it to me, especially men. And I
She's very bitter.
A little bit. So I picked up the manuscript about 10 years after I started it and reread it. After being a part of Universal Healing Tao for so many years, I didn't feel that way anymore. I understood I was the captain of my own ship. So I wanted to keep the material because it was funny, it was poignant, it was exactly what I was hearing from my clients, but I wanted to rewrite it coming from a point of view of being accountable. The other thing I had to take into account is that I'm not actually that funny, at least not when I'm trying to be. So I have this friend here who's a professional comedian and a Universal Tao instructor, so he understood where I was coming from. And I called him on the phone and said, "Hey, Mordant, you want to help me write this book?"
Sarina brought me in 2006, and you know, I just helped spice it up a little bit. She already had the body of the work done, and I added a chapter, and we changed a couple of the stories and just kind of hooked everything together and made it a little more fun.
Mordant takes my very dry writing and makes it great. Really. I mean, I wouldn't be what I am as a writer without this guy.
Thank you.
Even though intimacy is a pretty serious subject for many of us, the title of your book, Why Real Women Drink Straight Tequila, is pretty whimsical. What does this have to do with the book?
When I was a little girl, my mother always used to say, "Oh, honey, it's nothing serious. It's just your life." And so I was raised with that kind of irony, okay? We've got to learn to laugh. we just got to learn to laugh at this stuff. Everybody takes everything so seriously. When you live in a big city, the energy's moving really fast. I mean, if you don't pay attention, you could get into a car accident, or something weird can happen. You know, we're all so amped up. I just wanted to throw a little fun into it, and let's get some perspective. It really isn't anything serious. It's just your life.
Yeah, and why real women drink straight tequila, that's a metaphor for the kind of woman who is going to roll up her sleeves and dig into the mud of her relationship or anything else that she wants to put her mind to. You know, we're not asking people to go out and drink a lot of tequila, but we are saying that you're going to have the attitude of somebody who has control of your life. You're going to create your own reality. And those
Work
are the kind
hard,
of people.
play hard.
Yeah, definitely.
Responsibly, though.
Responsibly, drink responsibly.
So is this book only for women?
No. It's geared toward women, but first of all, I think men should read the book so that they understand how the modern woman is thinking. That's number one. And number two, if you really read the material, you're going to find that most of the time, Mordant and I are speaking quite generally. We have a large female audience, but more and more these days, guys are jumping on board because they get that we're all in this together. You need to understand what's going on with your lady. And ladies are reading the book so that they can better deal with what's going on with their men. It sounds like it's for women, but it's written for everybody.
Yes, if you read the material, you'll see that it, just like Sarina said, it is geared for everybody. It's applicable to everybody. We even have a chapter called Variations on a Theme that's directed more to about homosexuals, lesbians. There's women with May-December romances. There's a little segment about older women. It's geared towards everybody. There's something there for anybody. I read it, and I still get stuff out of it, and I help write it.
Wow. Sarina, you know, you mentioned that you're no longer the same person. So is your book an approach, or does it really lead to actual change? What do you mean?
Change in the Tao, which I understand most of our listeners, most of our readers, they've never even heard the word. Tao just means the way without force, or the way of nature, okay? In the Tao, we say that transformation starts inside. Transformation starts inside, okay? So, yeah, we throw out some concepts, and you visualize. Eventually, our visualizations become actualizations. So there's a really, really undefinable line in between theory and practical application.
And see, I think that the approach that we're taking, the approach leads to change. Of course, we're talking about change. We're not talking about discipline and, oh, I'm trying to be good, and then falling short of that. What you want to do is actually going to the quantum, going to the core of your being. You affect a real change, so that when you see the behaviors you didn't want to do anymore, you just don't want to do them. You know, the so-called bad stuff, or wow, I really should be more loving to my partner. You are that way. It's not about having to fight to be that way. So yeah, we're talking about affecting a real change.
So what do you mean by intimacy?
Intimacy, in the context of this material and in our lives, talks about being fearlessly open to being interconnected with your environment, your friends, your family, and of course, for this book, you know, your romantic partner.
Yeah, there's definitely a vulnerability there that the two people get. I like to, as far as becoming really intimate, you know, we talk about hobbies. There are guys out there who are football addicts, and they know everything there is to know about football. And there are women out there who know everything there is about fashion. These are hobbies. You know, how much more should we know about our partner, our spouse, our loved one? You know, that should be our hobby, our romantic relationship. You know, if you just want to have somebody in your life who's just a teammate and doing the same thing as you, then that's one thing. But if you want a real intimate relationship, you should become much more familiar. You should make your love life your hobby and achieve that intimacy.
Fearlessly interconnected.
There you go.
So, just how do we become comfortable with intimacy?
I'm going to go back to the reference of the Tao and say that it starts with the self. Even the Dalai Lama says, you know, everything starts with the self. So we become comfortable with ourselves. We become honest with ourselves. We become self-accepting. This attitude then bleeds into everything we do and our connectedness with everyone we know.
You know, and I'm gonna say that it's practice. It takes practice. You know, you're unfamiliar with something, you're uncomfortable with something. You do it enough times, you eventually get very, very comfortable. You get so much better at it. You know, just keep going at it. Just keep, you know, trying it. We become what we think about most of the time. And if you're thinking about the intimacy in your life and your relationship and concentrating on that, you're going to become more familiar with it and thereby more comfortable.
And that's a really good point. I was working with somebody yesterday, and he kept saying, so I just want to be more intimate with my wife. I just want to be more intimate with my wife. And after hearing him say this, probably a half a dozen times, I heard what was there the whole time, but I had missed it. What I heard was his commitment was to wanting to be more intimate with his wife. So we changed that phrase, and the phrase became, I am intimate with my wife. I am intimate with my wife. This is how we become comfortable with intimacy. Stop yearning for it and just do it. Take a risk.
Hey, it's been fun. Thanks a lot for being here. I just have a couple quick questions for you. Are you guys a couple?
Should we tell them?
I think we should.
All right.
No. We like each other a lot.
Never have been. I absolutely adore this man. I don't know what I would do without him, but we've never been a romantic couple. That is the truth.
That's probably why we like each other so much.
I think so.
What is on the horizon for the Quantum Dating Club?
Well, we have some really good stuff. I'm just coming down the home stretch with Why Real Couples Drink Straight Tequila, The Tao of Commitment. Mordant has just announced in this past week that he is beginning the next book, which will be Why Real Men Drink Straight Tequila, The Tao of Dudes.
Or something that's working title.
Okay, something like that. We're working on it. Maybe not The Tao of Dudes, I don't know. We're working on that. We've got that going on. We're doing television, we're doing radio. We're hoping to get more invitations to speak at universities and, you know, and other places. We teach. So we've got all kinds of stuff. The best way to find out what we're doing is to go to the website. It's qmiworld.com and check out the calendar, and you'll see exactly what's going on.
Right. One thing I want to mention, the other things that we're doing is we're doing our kind of own guerrilla interviews, which we call Couple Chat, where we are interviewing couples, and so you can find about the couples that we talk to and us as the interview people.
Well said, Mordant.
Yeah. Me speak good. Me on radio.
Well, thanks everyone for being here with us this afternoon. Hope you've learned as much as I have. Thanks.